it's important to clarify three different concepts: the data market, the data economy, and the data monetization. The data market makes reference to data-driven products and services. What is the volume that they represent? The data economy is a wider concept, and it agglutinates the potential impact of the data market in other areas of our societies. You may think about the usage of data to create sustainability policies. So that would be a good impact from a societal point of view. However, it may not have, or maybe yes, an economic impact. So it's not a direct result of selling a specific data product or service, but it's a consequence of the data market. So that is part of what we call the data economy. Finally, data monetization makes reference to the commercialization of the data sets as such. A data space is a distributed environment that enables data sharing between multiple parties in a standard-based way. One of the main characteristics of the data spaces is that they guarantee data sovereignty. What does it mean? Is that they allow data owners to keep control of the data, so they can decide which data they want to share, with whom and for which purpose and under which conditions.
A common denominator of all these projects and all these pilots and demonstrators is data. That's also the official policy statement of the Commission and the Member States and generally everybody. But data is a very abstract term and it's not a four-letter word. You have structured data as information, and if you're using information, it's knowledge. So we're currently using the word data for everything, and that makes it confusing. So even though it is the common denominator, we need to try to hash and dash it in the right sequence and say, what kind of classification do we have? Who is the stakeholder that controls that particular data? Is willing to share it? And what kind of conditions, or just as a philanthropic approach? Or is it obliged to share? We have some regulations like a Data Act that's also giving mandatory sharing, and the Data Governance Act as well. So we need to hash and dash the stakeholders, find out, hash and dash the data, and do the classification. And then the most important thing, is that particular person or organization willing and comfortable enough to start sharing? And is the other side also comfortable enough to receive? Because you need to know whether the data is fresh, can be trusted, is not infected with malware or the other. So there is a dual level of trust. It's not just one level of trust. So it's not about the data, it's about trust. And not only mine, but also yours. So, and then of course in the bigger ecosystem we try to create with PISTIS is not just a marketplace for A and B, a holder and a recipient, but it's of course a huge amount of stakeholders in the whole ecosystem. So it's not a bilateral thing. We need to come up with trust schemes that we can trust communities and the other way around, and also communities by themselves can start trusting each other. So that is the basic main topic. It's not necessarily about privacy or security, which of course are parts and components to create that level of trust, but it's really all about trust in this project.